Hey guys, today we're going to be showing you our 2022 CanAm Maverick X3 XDS Turbo RR side by side. So yes, that is a long title to it, but there's a ton of features to show you on this machine. So we're going to take a walk around, show you everything that we installed on it for aftermarket parts, and then show you a little bit of the inside and give you a tour of it. So we're going to start on the front end of the machine up here. So Corbin Custom Works was awesome enough to send us their street legal kit, which consists of these ghost lights here, which we'll show you in a clip. So these lights are much brighter than the original CanAm signature lights, and they have the ability to show signals. So we can actually signal left turn, right turn, and use hazard lights with these. And then there's a horn under here as well that we can use if we need to. And then on the bottom front part of the machine, FastLab UTV sent us a winch bulkhead. So this winch bulkhead is super heavy duty. We did not get a winch yet for it, but that's going to be something that we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, since we got the machine a little late due to all the COVID delays and everything. So we only had a couple days to piece everything together and hit the road to beat a snowstorm in the Midwest. So then as we come around over to this side, we'll show you right up here. This is the metal fan shroud from FastLab UTV. So this metal fan shroud is much heavier duty than the original plastic fan shroud that comes with the machine. So this just keeps the fan much more protected. That way if anything were to ever happen, you don't have a bunch of metal or plastic pieces flying all over the place. And then right here we've got our Rock Blocks mud flaps, which these make a world of difference when we're driving out here with all the rocks that get kicked up. The machine stays pretty darn clean from what we've done so far, even with getting it wet or in any mud, by having these on it. So there's the front ones, and we'll show you the rear in a minute. And then Kemimoto was cool enough to send us a half windshield and these side mirrors with LED lights. So the half windshield works awesome when it's warmer out, meaning for us over 50 degrees. It blocks the wind enough, but still lets enough airflow through so the dust doesn't swirl around the cab. And then these mirrors swivel, so we can set them to any which way that we want. And they do have the breakaway feature, so if you hit a branch, they'll just shut if you hit something really hard. And also from Kemimoto, we've got the lower half doors. So these help protect stuff from coming into the vehicle and just help keep airflow going around the machine versus a lot of wind and dust going through it. And we've got our Infinite Explorers sticker that we added on the back of that. And then we got this from Rock Knockers. These are called Rock Knockers. And we did a ton of research trying to figure out what we could do to prevent all these rocks from flying back from the front to hitting the back tire, or just from the back tire kicking up stuff and hitting the frame hard. And these have been super awesome. We've driven probably 50-60 miles an hour, and the amount that it reduces the rocks hitting is probably like 90%. So it's been really nice to have on our machine. Then these are the rear Rock Blocks mud flaps that we've got. And then on the top of the back of the machine, Savage UTV was really nice. They sent us a fire extinguisher with a quick release mount. So if we ever need to use this fire extinguisher in a quick way, all we gotta do is pull that out and you're ready to go to use this fire extinguisher. And then over here from Savage UTV as well, we have a small tool kit inside of here and a spare belt holder. So we have a spare belt for the machine in case something were to ever happen and our belt obliterated or anything like that when we're out in the middle of nowhere. And then from S&B Filters, we purchased their air particle separator. So that's really nice to use out here when it's super dusty, as you can tell by all the dust over it, just to keep our air filter and everything clean. So another thing we did with this machine is we did something called the Fox Tune. So the Fox Tune adds clearance from the stock height. So when this originally came to the dealer from the factory, they didn't really set it up much. It was way bottomed out. We were probably about that far off the ground. So it felt like you were riding in a little sports car, but we were bottoming out on anything super small. So we did the Fox Tune, which if you Google that, you can see all the specs for it depending on the machine that you've got. and that will raise the clearance 4 to 6 inches. So as you can see below, we raised the rear and the front of the machine. So next we're going to move to the interior part of the machine. So we're going to open up the doors here. So from Kemimoto, we've got these front door and rear door bags. We'll show you the fronts first. So there's a lot of storage that Sarah and I can both use with this. So for example, on this side, we've got goggles, we've got a couple face masks, anything like that just to hold in here. We can put phones and keys, anything like that. And then up here is a knee pad, which is optional if you want to put that on it. But this is nice if you are in a rough area and your legs are moving around. It's a lot nicer hitting this versus hitting the frame. So that's it for this part. And then on the rear door, the bag is just a little bit smaller, but it's still got a lot of room. So that way when we have people with us, they can put their stuff in here, or we can have any extra tools like that. So I'm going to sit in the back seat here and show you what we've got for room, and don't mind all the dust because we just got done riding a bit ago and it's the desert. So I'm 6 feet, the front seat is all the way back, and I still have plenty of leg room here. So I've probably got maybe 4 inches till I hit the seat. And another thing that's really nice with this Can-Am is they've got, I don't know if you want to call these knee pads, these are rubber, so they're flexible. If you end up hitting something and your knee hits this, it's a lot nicer than hitting a big frame bar. So plenty of room in here, handles to grab onto. And then we did lower the front and rear seats just for lower center of gravity. So I'm still tall enough to be able to look out to the side versus sitting up something like this for height. So I think it dropped it about 1.5 inches or 2 inches. So I'll crawl back out of here and then we'll show you a couple other things on the inside. So we've got a center bag here from Kemimoto. This is what we store our tools in. So it's just got a zipper on the side of it. And it's just packed with a whole bunch of tools just in case we ever need to use that, since we'll be out in the middle of nowhere when we're driving. And then in the middle down here, from Rhino USA, we've got a shovel in case we ever bury this thing in sand and need to dig ourselves out. And on the other side over there, you can see another Kemimoto bag, which is the exact same as the passenger side. And then next, I'm going to take you up to the front of the machine and we'll go over a couple other things up here. So we'll probably start. One thing we added on is the GPS unit. So we just use an iPad mini, since that's what we also use to fly our drone. And the iPads do not have a built-in GPS device if you buy the Wi-Fi only version. So we've got a Garmin little GPS unit up here. We just Velcroed it down, and out of 500 miles, this thing hasn't budged at all. So we just turn on this GPS unit, and our tablet sits right in here in this tablet holder from Kemimoto. So this tablet holder can flip down. We've got extra storage in here as well. So we also have access to 12 volt for charging in case we need to charge the iPad or our phones, anything like that. So when our tablet's in here, that'll sync with that. And then we're good to go and use our app to load all the trails. And then up in front here, we've just got our glove compartment. So in here, we've also just got the manual, some registration stuff, and extra tools that comes with the Can-Am. And then over here, we've got all the controls. So we've got 4x4, 2x4, and the diff lock. We've got our trail and trail active modes for suspension. And then this is what we got for our street legal kit. So we've got a horn here and our hazard lights. That's from Corbin Custom Works to use. And then that's pretty much it for the passenger side on the front. Let's go over to the driver's side and we'll show you all the features over here. So for being a driver in this Can-Am, what I love the most about it is the amount of leg room. So this isn't like being in a really small sports car. I'm 6 foot and I have plenty of room here with the seat all the way back to put my legs out, stretch my legs out. I'm not sitting necessarily like this trying to drive. So this works well for both Sarah and I, so we can just adjust the seat easily right down here at the push of a lever. We can just push that forward and backward manually. And then other than that, if I shut the door here, you can adjust the steering wheel height. So we prefer to have our hands down lower, and then that way this part of the steering wheel isn't blocking our view. So we usually drive somewhere right in there. And the dash display does move with the steering wheel, so that works kind of well so that the steering wheel doesn't have to obstruct this in any sort of way. So we're gonna fire this thing up and we're gonna show you guys one of our favorite features on the whole machine. So the last big feature we have to show you on this Can-Am is our sound system. So Sarah and I both love our music, and we really debated on should we get a sound system for this or not. And we ended up going with the Rockford Fosgate audio roof, which we're gonna show you in a second here. I'm gonna fire it up, and it's hard to show you the audio of it because video never does it justice. But we can put this thing up to half of its full power, and I mean, it's loud. So when we're riding, you can still be going really fast on the trails or rock crawling and having really good sound quality. And it can be really loud inside the cab. And since the speakers are up here, they'll aim down and keep it quieter away so you're not upsetting all of your neighbors. So we'll fire this up here. And then we'll show you the inside of the speakers back here. So the speakers right now are not lit up at all. The sound system's off. But up here we have controls on the front of the machine. And so as soon as I hit this button, all of the speakers light up and will change colors as the music plays. So right now it'll go to green. And we just use our Bluetooth here to connect everything, and we just play Spotify on this. So there's 6 speakers, 2 in the middle, 2 in the front, and 2 in the back, so all of your passengers can listen to the music. And you can also put multiple phones on and switch the playlists up. And then in the background, as you heard earlier, or as we talked about earlier, you can hear the particle separator. So this is the second version of the particle separator that will change with RPMs, the sound of it and the intake of it. So that's really nice to have. So we got this machine to use for upcoming workshops and tours that we're hoping to offer in the next couple months. So that way we can haul other photographers with us or people that want to come out and explore the beautiful Southwest. And we can go to a lot of off the beaten path destinations that our truck camper necessarily couldn't take people to. This has opened the door for us to visit a lot of cool places. And right now we're in Arizona, but we're especially excited to get to Utah because Utah is our favorite state for exploring. And there's a whole big bucket list of places that we've always wanted to go to, but it's never been an easy place to hike to. So this machine will work awesome to take us to those places. So thank you guys for watching. If you've got any questions about the machine, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, stay tuned for more content, and we will hopefully show you some more cool places soon.